Good morning, y'all. Check out my shirt. No one lights a lamp, then covers it. That's from Luke 8:16. Light up the map wherever you're at. I think that's pretty important. Everybody should be a light, a beacon of light, not a dreary dark soul. If you're a dreary dark soul, then you need to get some professional help, some spiritual help, but I digress. I'm here to honor veterans today. My grandfather, Sergeant Henry J. LaCour, was a World War II vet. He was in the Army during World War II. Then after that, he enlisted in the Air Force and was a career Air Force training sergeant, training troops go overseas. While during World War II, and this story in detail is it is in True Hauntings Volume 2 by Kevin Lake. He had permission to use the story however he wished, because he's the author, not me, as far as being able to write a book. I just wrote the story with my writing capabilities, which are okay, but not superior to his. Anyway, when my grandfather was a young man, he was from a Boyles Parish in a town called Mooresville, Louisiana. And he came from a large family. He went into the military during World War II, got trained, and was stationed in Fort Knox, and he met my Mama Trudy, in Kentucky at a little carnival or festival fair thing they had going on. So there was a lot of Army guys there, and of course the women's going to be out there too. They only knew each other for about a month or so, or less actually, and then they were married. And they had several children, one of which happens to be my mother. So anyway, when it was time for them to get sent over to France and Germany, they were like in the last year of the war because of the age they were at the time. There was a woman out in the crowd, because when they send troops off to battle, there's always well-wishers and all that, at the dock. And this little lady in black, carrying a rosary, walked up to him and his best friend that was with him and told him that there'll be 3 times you have a brush with death, but you're going to make it home okay. Well, of course, young guys going like, what? Okay, thank you. They were very respectful and all. But anyway, there were 3 major incidents that happened. And in my grandfather's and his best friend's tour, what do you call it, in the war. During that time frame, they liberated concentration camps, liberated POWs, saw atrocities that I don't know if I could ever recover from. I mean, he had nightmares if he ate the wrong thing before he went to bed the rest of his life after he got home. I don't know if I could handle such traumas and keep going myself, but when you're in those situations, you have no choice. It's either that or you're going to die, or your friends are going to die. So you've got to keep moving and do what you got to do. I'm not going to tell the whole detailed story because it's in that book, and I'd refer you to purchase that book. I'll put a link in the description box for that book on Amazon. Or you can go to Etsy and get it signed by the author that put all the stories together at the Etsy store is called Homesteading Haven, which a lot of his books are there anyway. The other things my grandfather did, when he was stationed at Tyndall, he worked on Project Blue Book. And there is a report, you can find it online. Of course, the government said it was Venus, he was seeing with the report he made, but I don't think my grandfather would ever make a report of an unidentified aerial phenomena that was actually Venus. He was not a stupid man. He collected several articles on UFOs. He did lots of research on the UFO phenomena, the POW thing. POWs were one of his passion, because he saw what POWs go through. So, my ponytail's falling. That was one of his passions. Other things he did that I didn't find out till after he died. He went to every school board meeting. He went to every city council meeting. He went in Alexandria, was where he retired at England Air Force Base when it used to be there. He stood up. He was considered a citizens activist, and that's the article that was written about him after he died. See, my mama, she didn't like all the stuff he did. Like, she thought it was stupid, you know. She didn't care about it. But Papa cared about helping other people, and he never sat idly by. He was pro-life. He worked with that movement in his church. He would take magazines that people were done with, still in good condition, and bring them to the nursing homes and to places where people were shut in and needed some kind of diversion. He would help out at the school for the developmentally disabled called Mary Knoll. I mean, there's so many things, and he had so much research and so much cool stuff that after he passed, I'm guessing it's still in a filing cabinet somewhere, or 2 or 3 filing cabinets. I don't know. I never did ask my cousin about that. I mean, Louisiana humidity destroys a lot of stuff. So if it's not climate controlled, then it's hard to keep stuff climate controlled and storage around in Louisiana without paying an arm and a leg. So I'm not sure. I wish we could get it digitized, because he never stopped until he got sick. And when he got sick, he was taking some city transportation. He left the car with my grandmother and the family, and so the granddaughter could get to school and stuff and whatever. Anyway, he was taking city transportation, and the bus took off before he was completely off the bus or on it or something. And anyway, his clothes got hung up, or he got dragged by this bus and injured pretty bad as far as breaking bones and stuff. And after that, a cancer popped up. And as we know, sometimes sudden injuries kind of awake these things. And so that's what eventually took him out. But he fought that fight, you know, but he was at peace with everything. As far as, you know, he knew where he was going. And if anybody was the definition of go, love, serve, from the military to retirement to just the things he did, that he didn't brag about it. I mean, we didn't know a lot of this stuff till after he passed, and there was an article in the paper written about him. So I'm proud to say that Sergeant Henry J. LaCour, originally of Moorville, Louisiana, in Avoyelles Parish, was my grandfather. He's not the only veteran. His sons also were military too, Uncle Darrell and Uncle Gene. And they've also passed and gone on to be with the Lord. My Uncle Mylon, who is 84, he was also in the Korean War, and he was career Army. Very amazing man. Very, very cool. You know, we still talk, you know, once in a while over the phone. There's others that were in the military too, but this video is going on long, and I'm getting warm, and it's time for me to start my job this morning. So God bless all veterans. I love you guys. You're the best. Shout out to all of you. You've served and given so much. And also a shout out to my favorite YouTuber. And I've always had YouTubers that I've always watched, but I gotta say, there's one that I do not miss, you know, or if I miss it, I'll make it up later, is Homesteading Off the Grid, or Life with Dearly. That's his wife's channel. They are this amazing family, overcame so many challenges. Kevin is a veteran. He joined up a couple of years younger than me. He joined up when the Twin Towers got hit. And he served in Iraq and went through a lot, came back and went to live in the Philippines, and had brought back this beautiful, sweet lady who's always smiling. I mean, she's just always must have this ultimately upbeat personality. And God has blessed them, and they just are just bring a light to so many people that watch their YouTube channel. I don't know if they even realize just how much of an uplift they give to people. I mean, I think they do because people have told them, but just to know that. Thank you for serving, Kevin, and thank you for putting my grandfather's story in your book and my other spooky family stories, and more to come later of those. God bless all y'all. And may God continue to bless all you. So happy Veterans Day.